It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield-Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Howdy, howdy. Good morning to you on Thursday. Hope your week is going swimmingly. And we got a little news to tell you about today. And
Swimmingly. Yeah. I like that. All right. Yes, we start with another story about a different Greene County deputy or sheriff's office worker that is in trouble with the law. This time for theft. 19-year-old Caden Lewis worked as a detention officer. He is accused of stealing $900 from an inmate that was there being held on a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement hold, which the theft is a Class D felony. Investigators say that Lewis was supposed to secure the inmate's belongings while the inmate was going to take a shower, but instead, investigators say that Lewis took the money for himself, and they questioned him after seeing some strange behavior on security video and said that he was having money issues. The former Robertson Elementary School in Springfield is about to become someone else's home. How about that? The school on East Kearney was bought by Elevate Lives for $500,000. Elevate Lives is a nonprofit group. They help to build people up out of poverty. They are going to turn it into an affordable housing complex with childcare available in there, and then doing some educational programs out of the building as well.
Okay, good for them. That's taking something that was out of date for its what had been its use, and turn it into something that can help people going forward. That's
good, and even like young people, like like the school was. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's great. We told you about Springfield police now being able to crack down on unregistered vehicles, license plates that are way out of date. Now, and it would just be an option for them. Now there's an online petition that aims to stop the city from the possibility of towing and impounding any of those unregistered vehicles. It was posted about a week ago online. That's where petitions go now, online. And at last check, had about almost 1,000 signatures. The citizen who started it told the Springfield Business Journal that having grown up in poverty, she recognizes a car impoundment could be disastrous financially, making things worse for people than they already are. And she says she doesn't think someone should be punished for something they were likely intending to take care of. The petitioner's goal is to get enough signatures at change.org to get the issue on the ballot for voters to decide. For their part, the Springfield Police Department said when they were arguing that this should go into effect, that a very high number, like almost half of plates are expired or not properly licensed, and that the chief and the police would not use towing as the first choice, but it would just be an option for an egregious offender.
Right.
So we'll see where that ends up, because it is law now. The city of Springfield passed it. They can tow. I haven't heard of any issues. I haven't heard of any towings to this point.
Yeah. SBJ put up a poll. I read SBJ all the time, and sometimes I'll take their polls like to see where they stand. It's not like scientific. This is like an anecdotal poll. Whoever logs into their website can take the poll. And they had reported that more people were for the impoundment. And I think it's because of the reasons the police department laid out, which is what you said, egregious offenses where it's been a long time overdue or whatever. Although I will say this lady who started this, I just read her interview, but I can remember vividly getting a boot on my car before I had a pot to pee in. And it was super rough trying to get that out. And we were not yet married. We might have been dating though, because it was in Springfield, but I had parked somewhere.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, I parked somewhere downtown where I wasn't supposed to be, without really recognizing that I was not in a good spot. Anyway, all that to say, I had a boot on my car, and the level of like terror in my heart, because I knew my financial picture at the time, and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I don't know how this is. I don't know how I'm ever going to get this thing off. Like, it was terrible. I mean, I appreciate this one. I don't know this woman, but I appreciate her.
Yeah.
But obviously you see SPD's dilemma, with the numbers, the sheer number of cars. It's a lot.
Well, and it would be the city's dilemma because that's all the tax money that isn't coming in. If people aren't getting their cars registered, the police department has to deal with that. And we've all driven around and seen cars with, the temporary plate that you get from the dealer when you buy a car, and it's 3 years old or something or more. Yeah. But I do see her point, because if it's somebody who's stretched and they just hadn't gotten to it yet because they can't afford it, and they're trying to get to work and feed their kids, and it's it's 6 months, but I don't know the police would tow that person. So know, I don't know. We'll see. I think we should see how it goes, but we will see how it goes regardless.
Regardless if you think we should or not.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah, we're going to whether Ethan thinks so or not. So there you go. I'm with the process, though. Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
A bill. I got another one. A bill soon to be headed to Governor Kehoe's desk would eliminate the ability for young teenagers to get married in the state of Missouri. Right now, the minimum age to get married is 16. That's the youngest you can be. Teens younger than that must have permission from at least one parent, and their spouse also has to be under the age of 21. A new bill, though, with some support from both parties, we'll see where it goes in the House, would mean that only legal adults can marry in the state of Missouri. So,
yeah,
I think we'll also see there where that goes.
Yeah, it's impossible to not let your personal experience weigh in. You know what I mean? And that's your personal experience is often not a good barometer. So I'm just going to remain silent because I'm like, yeah, that sounds like genius. Like, you shouldn't be getting married when you're 16, says the lady who got married older, and her husband, that guy on the other side of the screen, was way older. But I mean, I have friends who successfully married very, very young, and they think it's amazing. So I don't know.
Not that young.
I'm again, along for the process, as it were. Okay, this is interesting. Did you know that Mizzou has exclusive rights to certain degree programs? Did you know this? I did not know that. This is news to me. But if a school has a partnership with the University of Missouri, for example, in a certain program like a research doctorate, first professional degree like dentistry, vet medicine, just certain like professional degrees, other public universities in the state can't offer those same degrees, which is really interesting. So there's a bill right now that would remove those types of restrictions, which would potentially mean better workforce development, because then arguably you would have more options and more entities like different universities that could train up students to prepare them for the workforce. Actually, Springfield Senator Lincoln Huff is the one who authored this. MSU's president said, yes, removing the statutory restrictions will help train up more students for the workforce. However, opponents say that when you spread out those types of degree programs to other universities, it is millions of dollars from the taxpayers that ultimately fund said programs.
Interesting.
I thought it was interesting too. And I never in a million years would have known that was a rule, not working in the education system. But what could happen is you could go to Missouri State, for instance, for as long as you can go. But then if you're going to go get to med school, have to move, not just med school. That was maybe a bad example, but you would have to move to then the University of Missouri,
right, wherever it's,
and it's well, what if I don't have that money, or what if I already have a family started here, or what if there's so many factors that I had no idea that only one university in a state, at least here, can. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. Yeah. I'd have to read more about that to form a cohesive thought, because I don't like the idea of more tax money being spent, but I also don't. I think choice is good.
I do too. And there's a lot of non-traditional students.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like if you do, I learned this in sociology 14 million years ago when I was in college, but it's called like the luxury of sequence. So if you do everything like in this luxury of sequence, like whatever that culture has set it up to be,
right,
then it's just like as a whole, as a rule, it's easier for you. Like go to high school and then go to college and then get a career and then start a family. But like that's just not the norm anymore.
Well,
it's
no, it's
all
not.
over the place. And so for that reason, I'm like, yeah, let's spread it out.
Okay.
It's my 2 cents. There it is.
At the end, it sounded like Shark Tank because you said it and then you said, and for that reason, I'm out. We used to watch Shark Tank with the kids all the time.
I do love it. I do love Shark Tank.
It's a good show. It's a good learning show for them. Hey, tomorrow there's going to be a special groundbreaking for the Renew Jordan Creek project in Springfield. Just the first phase. We're getting underway here. So the groundbreaking will be at 2:00 at the intersection of Boonville and Mill Street in downtown Springfield. Crews are ultimately daylighting Jordan Creek as it flows through downtown, because right now and for years it's been underground. So they're going to bring it back to the surface, make parks around it, green space, all that sort of thing. Construction is currently underway, should be completed by late next year, late 26.
Yep.
So I think it's going to be super cool when it's completed, but you know the headaches that go along with the project.
Correct. Yeah. Kind of cool though to see the groundbreaking begin. Okay, late tonight and early into tomorrow morning. So like technically this is Friday morning, super early in the morning, Friday, but Thursday night, if you're awake, go outside and you will be able to see a total lunar eclipse. It's a rarity. It hasn't happened in 3 years. So get outside and make it happen. Springfieldians, really all of Missouri, will have a chance to see this. This is when the whole moon moves into the innermost and darkest part of the Earth's shadow and then completely blocks it from the sun. So it's a total eclipse of the heart. And it is going to be a sight to see. But it's like 1:26 in the morning. That means I'm probably out. I am probably out. But if you will do it and you will send some pictures to Around the Ozarks, we're all over social media, then we can show a picture of it. How about that?
Oh, yeah. You take a picture and that means I don't have to get out of bed.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I was just going to let people talk about it, but a picture's even better than having them describe it to me.
All right. Well, that's all, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Eth has a long day, so get to work, my friend.
It is going to be a long day. Tonight we have International Women's Day, Convoy of Hope. It's a sold-out program to celebrate women and what Convoy of Hope is doing for women around the world. So there's 2 programs, one at 4:30, one at 7. I'm in both of them, so it'll be, I'm going to work this morning. It'll be a long day till 13 hours or so, but then I'll come home and go to bed. We'll see about Friday.
It's funny that you were in the show because I've had 90,000 people ask me if I'm in the show. The answer to that is no, but my husband is.
I'm the token dude.
You're the token dude. Everybody needs a token dude, you know?
Yeah.
And Ethan was the man, you know?
Yep.
So
I will be there
at
with bells
the
on.
International Women's Day. It's the Mr. of the Four Hetzes that will be there.
Yep.
It's good. It's good. I'm excited. It's going to be a great time. And yeah, sold out. So don't go looking. Don't go looking for tickets. Too late.
Yep. Next year, maybe. Next year.
Which is cool. Yep. Next year. Get them.
Okay. That'll do it for us. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. And hope to see you right back here tomorrow morning.
Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by John's Heating and Air, Command Family Medicine, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Temperatures are starting out in the 50s for us this morning. We are well above average for morning numbers, and I've got highs today in the 80s in the Ozarks. Warmest day of the week for many, and probably one of the most enjoyable to get out because the winds aren't too strong for us yet. But even today, we are talking about some fire danger in the Ozarks, and I think that increases as we head into tomorrow. So big heads up for you on Friday when the winds will be extremely windy all day long. We have warm conditions today and then storms on the way tomorrow. I know you've heard about the chance for strong to severe weather in the Ozarks again to end the week. It's been a beautiful spring-like week, and we've got some strong to severe thunderstorms that are in the forecast for us, especially the eastern counties as we head into Friday. Let's focus on today first. High temperature of 82 degrees, sunny skies in the forecast, and it's just going to be a great day to get out. I have a south wind in the afternoon, 5 to 10 miles an hour. It's not until tomorrow that those winds pick up, and boy, do they pick up. I mean, we are talking non-thunderstorm winds, 40 to 50 miles an hour. Most of the day on Friday. It is going to be a very tight pressure gradient that's marching across the center of the country. So enjoy today. It is tranquil in comparison tomorrow. Tomorrow, if you're doing outdoor projects, anything like that, if you were hoping to take advantage of the warmer weather, well, just know that the wind is going to be pretty bothersome out there on Friday. Today, we don't have much in the way of hazards across the Ozarks, but I do want to mention that the fire risk goes up as we head into tomorrow. Significant fire danger in the forecast again with winds, as I said, 40 to 50 miles an hour. And that's not including the thunderstorm winds. We'll also have a chance for strong to severe storms, which means there could be some thunderstorms gusting to 65 or more on Friday. The highest wind gusts are going to be along and just west of Highway 60. There are going to be incredible winds, so travel may become difficult with winds gusting to 50 miles an hour. The direction will be out of the southwest. Loose objects may be blown around. Small limbs may break in this type of wind hazard. So big heads up for you. I do think that we have a chance for severe storms, but I want to alert you to first thing on Friday because we're going to be dealing with wind all day long. I do expect that the best chance for some of these stronger storms is going to happen east of Highway 63. That's where there's this elevated risk of severe weather. I think storms will form and move in very quickly. It's only expected for a very short window of time, about 6 p.m. to midnight on Friday. So a quick moving storm system. But if you have plans on Friday night, I know it's a big night in the Ozarks, and we may see winds that could gust to 70 miles an hour. I think winds will be the biggest hazard with those severe storms. Isolated tornado threat does exist in our far eastern counties, but there's not a whole lot in the way of other hazards with this storm system. I think the winds will be the biggest concern for us. Cooler but pleasant then for the weekend. I am expecting highs to drop closer to normal for this time of the year. We've gotten kind of used to the 70s and, well, today the 80s, but tomorrow temperatures are going to be very warm. We still have numbers in the upper 70s and low 80s, but we drop into the 60s for highs on Saturday. By Sunday, we're in the 50s for highs. So it's more normal for mid-March by the time we get to the weekend forecast. Around the country, there's a whole lot making headlines. This strong storm system is bringing unsettled weather to much of the West Coast. At the same time, we have critical fire weather happening from the southern plains for the rest of the week. And then more severe weather is in the forecast as we move into Friday of this week. So lots of things to track, not just here in the Ozarks, but all across the country as the weather is very active as we wrap up the work week. Around the Ozarks, wake up weather brain twister trivia question for the daytime. The question that I had for you yesterday, everyone's favorite condiment. The original ketchup wasn't made with tomatoes, but rather what? The options that I gave you were A, fermented fish sauce, B, red peppers, C, ripe bananas and vinegar, or D, beets. What do you think? The original ketchup wasn't made with tomatoes, but rather, yuck, A, fermented fish sauce. I don't know how this took off, but the original ketchup can actually be traced back to China, and it was called ketchup or kochup in the Southern Min dialect of Chinese. It was popular in much of Southeast Asia, and it was introduced to Europe by traders. Apparently, tomatoes were not added until around 1820. And then I guess they thought the tomatoes were so good that they were like, "Ugh, let's toss the fish sauce." But it does have roots in fermented fish sauce. If that's for you, then, well, I guess you can just buy normal fish sauce, but I'll take the ketchup. Thank you very much. All right, here's the quiz question that I have for you to tomorrow. Which animal can get sunburned? Do you think it's A, snake, B, a pig, C, a gorilla, or D, a horse? You can let me know your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. Thank you so much for listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather this morning. I'm meteorologist Abby Dyer. I want to thank our sponsors, John's Heating and Air, Command Family Medicine, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Have a great one. Enjoy the beautiful weather, sunshine, 82, wind in the forecast tomorrow. That's the big headline, and severe storms tomorrow evening. Enjoy today. We'll be back to chat tomorrow morning.